we are here at French Creek Nature Center at the bird feeding station, and Amy, park manager and naturalist, is out there filling and stocking the feeders. The suet feeder, it's a small little square cage, and you can purchase the square suet cakes, which makes it very easy to fill. See how easy that is? Some people make their own suet holders or use a mesh bag, and that's fine too. So some of the suet cakes have just the suet, some have seeds in them or peanuts or fruits, so there's a variety that you can get. And then the hopper feeder there is like a little house, and you lift up the flap and you put the seed in there. And these hopper feeders allow the bigger birds, such as cardinals, blue jays, to have a spot to land. Whereas sometimes the tube feeders just have a little perch, and then only the little birds can stand or land on the tube feeders. So you can see several types of hopper feeders out there, and then you could always throw some seed on the ground, or some people put a stump out there, and you can toss the seed on that to give them like a little platform. There's a big cabin feeder, so that's more like a platform feeder. And really the best seed to use, if you had to purchase one type of seed, is black oil. That seed has a thinner shell, which is very easy for some of the smaller birds to crack open, versus the thicker hulled shell of the striped sunflower. So you may be paying a little bit more for the black oil, but it is a better use. Now, the seed that she's putting in that feeder is mixed with millet, and there could be some peanuts in there too. So the little sparrows eat those. Now, you don't need to fill all the feeders full. Hello again, everybody. We're here at French Creek Nature Center with senior naturalist Amy, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the bird food that they use to feed the birds out here.
All right, hey everybody, my name's Amy, and I'm a senior naturalist, like Linda said. We've been feeding the birds here ever since I can remember. 20 years working with the Metro Parks. This is one of our go-to areas to feed birds. We have a variety that visit the feeders every day throughout the year. But the winter residents are those that you might even be able to attract to your backyard. The best thing that you can do to provide for these birds is kind of form a habit in yourself to feed them on a regular basis. Doesn't mean you have to fill the feeders every single day. It just means that, you know, once you establish a habit, then they establish a habit of coming to you. To attract a variety of birds, you want to present a variety of food items, but also a variety of feeder styles. So to give you kind of a brief overview of what we do here to attract a diverse grouping of birds that we do is offer them a variety of seed mixes, some seeds by themselves, but also a variety of presentation methods. So first of the seeds that most people go to when they're feeding a variety of birds comes in the typical mix, including not just sunflower seeds, which are the larger variety, but also a series of smaller seeds, these round balls called millet. There's a red millet and a common millet, as well as safflower, sometimes shelled sunflower, and some mixes do offer cracked corn. We try to steer clear of cracked corn most of the time, but we also will take what's available to us. So the cracked corn we steer clear from only because it tends to attract insect pests while you're storing it for long periods of time, and it also can turn bad faster than some of the other seeds that are protected by that seed coat. Mold can be established. Like I said, other insect pests can be commonly found with that cracked corn. So that's one of the reasons we tend to get mixes that omit the cracked corn altogether. If you buy a mix that isn't mixed well, offering a variety of different colors and shapes and sizes of things, you can always supplement. One of the best things that you can add to a seed mix is straight up black oil sunflower, because it has the most nut meat to shell ratio that is available at a pretty fair cost. So black oil sunflower, lots of protein for the birds that tend to eat it, and easily broken apart by their beak shape and size and everything else. So the mixes, the single sunflower seeds can be found in lots of different options. Some of them can be heavy on fruit additives. This one actually contains peanuts as well as dried up, I believe these are cranberries.
That
but
sounds good, actually, doesn't it?
yeah, it's not too far from what we might eat, trail mix style. So, and again, you wouldn't eat anything with worms or bugs in it, so you might not want to present that to the birds at a certain point if it starts to rot during storage. Now this seed size and shape is a little bit different and therefore attracts a different set of birds to feed on this type. This is called Niger or thistle, and it's actually one that's preferred by some of the guys that just flew in here, the goldfinches. So because this size and shape of seed might not work in all feeder styles, you need to know which seed is best for which type of bird feeder. Since I've got this in my hand, I might as well pick up this feeder. And you'll see that the holes match up with the seed size. And therefore, the birds can, yeah, teeny. Not only are they preferring smaller seed when they feed, but they also like to feed together. So that's why you see multiple perch points here with holes being located around the cylinder feeder. So this might be referred to as a cylinder feeder, whereas one that holds a lot of variety and a lot of quantity of seed might be a hopper style feeder. This one's dripping because it's been outside and the snow is melting on the inside. But it can hold a whole lot of seed in one fell swoop. You can certainly fill your feeders, but know that you're only going to get as many visitors to your feeder each day as there are birds attracted. So as long as you're okay feeding nocturnal non-bird animals out there, you might be encouraging things like raccoons and skunks if the weather's right, or other animals to your feeders beyond the birds that you want to see during the daytime. So a better thought, and certainly one that works for us with all of the feeders that we have outside in our backyard, is to only feed them a part of the way instead of offering an entire hopper full of birdseed. These hoppers can be presented by hanging on a shepherd's hook or what have you, but they can also be mounted to a pole, and I've seen them put on cut stumps before. So there's any number of ways that you can offer this feeder style and encourage the birds to the feeder.
Awesome.
Awesome. And of course, you can't complete your diverse offering without offering some suet for some of the larger birds, especially things like nuthatches and woodpeckers that tend to prefer the suet. Now again, we like to kind of stretch what we have to offer, knowing that we're going to present in multiple areas, not just here in the backyard, but behind my office, because I like to see the birds back there too. So we might buy, cakes and cakes of the suet, but we'd cut it so that we can make the supply stretch a little bit further. This stuff can melt, so you want to store it in a cool, dark place rather than a hot, warm place. I guess hot and warm are the same. But again, stretch your supply, get different varieties. They come with all the assortment that you would find in bagged seed, and see which type your birds prefer. I'm going to fill one more feeder, put it out there, and we'll see who we can encourage to come to the backyard of the French Creek Nature Center.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right. right, so now the feeding station is complete with the tube feeder with the thistle in it. So once Amy gets back in here, we are going to watch the birds and identify them, what all is munching down on the little mini grocery store here.